I've had it. This was a guy who built his reputation on hate, arrogance, and calling people retards.
Fucking bullshit, fucking soap opera, fucking, that's so fucking stupid. Are you fucking listening? That's so fucking stupid. That anyone in here believes that?
They've got no pride, they interrupt our grieving. Teardrops dropping for the pain of the world. My best friend dies when she was just a young girl. Left me here to fend for myself. Now the pain never leaves. We just learn to cope. So when the devil needs hanging, will you tie up the rope and shout, pull? Let's put an end to this bull Zen thing. How many years before we practice what we preach? How many tears before we truly clinch the peak? Only to find that there is no honey on the moon. Official goon with the unofficial croon.
We got some war crimes going on here. What's going on, people?
Oh, so you've had it. Oh, well, that's the issue here. That's the important thing. Yeah. The fact that you're pissed off at the level of responses someone else has received at their time of passing. I noticed you start the video talking about yourself. What is it exactly that makes you think your response is so different from all the others? Other than the fact that you're talking about how much you dislike the man. All those responses were people's personal recollections and remembrances of the time they spent with Roger on this site. The only thing to separate yours from those is that your means and motive are purely for your own personal gain, your own success, to draw any exposure and attention you possibly can to your shitty little channel. I find it preposterous that you compare yourself to Hunter S. Thompson, the gonzo journalist. A guy who made his name on innovative and outlandish styles of journalism, when all your channel is a replica of every other hater site on this website. Alright, so I'll grant you this. The stick-cam photos, there's no excuse for that. Roger held his head up after it and was extremely embarrassed, like you said, by it. But I don't see how that differs from a campaign of videos that lasted 2 months, opening with the first video entitled Lisa Nova is a Bitch, where you proceed to talk about the girl's breasts.
Lisa Nova, talking shit to him, or I don't know, not being in love with him, or that whole fucking thing.
How is that any different? The only thing I see here is not an attempt to review channels. It's a pathetic little man lusting after something he can't get. And when unsatisfied by that, he turns to hate on the deaths and anything to do with any other people's lives. You suggest Roger built his reputation on hate, but I'll remind you how Roger started out on this website. It wasn't blogging about partners. and making tirades on other people's success on the website. He made simple videos about other vloggers on the same level of him at that time, because YouTube didn't even resemble anything like it does the construct that now exists, the the billion-dollar enterprise that it exists as today. All it was then was a means for people to communicate. Okay, so Roger made responses to stuff he didn't like. You could call them attacks, but the majority of his videos were actually responses to, not even to individuals, to crappy news items and silly videos such as a kid with his face painted as a zombie saying something stupid on the evening news. Not attacks on people he thought would bring him some gain. Not hand-picked the people that he saw as more successful than him and he wanted to take down. Yeah, Roger gained success from the Carson Daly website, and he was also featured on television at one point. But that was for a video you could call humiliating himself, doing an impersonation of David Hasselhoff eating a bird. I mean, putting himself out like that. He could have drawn any backlash, but he didn't. He just made it for the entertainment value, not for his own personal gain, which is all you're about. Yeah, and you also suggest Roger is weak, and the fact that you had pity for him, and that's the thing that stopped you from actually responding when he called you out on your use of green screen and special effects and suggested that you were hiding behind those. And this is your explanation, that you didn't respond to him then because it was out of pity. You thought he was weak. So you're doing it now when the guy's gone and he can't respond. I suggest you're pretty weak for talking to a guy that isn't even there anymore and is unable to respond. If you tried to make a video towards Roger when he was alive, he would have fucking crushed you. You're so transparent, putting Tom Serson's video in the description, talking about how when he's not ripping me apart, he's great. So what you're basically suggesting is you disagree with him the rest of the time, but oh, he's alright when he agrees with me. That's the most hypocritical thing I've ever heard. You can carry on with this tirade on a guy that's no longer able to respond, because I'm sure it'll bring you the subs and views you so desperately lust after. But look at it this way. When your unfortunate demise comes about, there's gonna be no one there.
I'm all things to all men, all of the women, all the children. Just say when and I'll take it till my TARDIS. Who's the hardest? Who's the hardest? But you claim none. We're searching for Jesus, but I'll be damned if I'll be crucified. 10,000 spies, compulsive lies. They hate me, they love me, they hate me. Cause I'm all things to all men, all of the women, all the children. Just say when, and I'll take you to my TARDIS. Who's the hardest? Who's the hardest?